Let me show you guys a quick recipe idea, especially for those teenagers who are gonna be starving like Marvin because they're off of school and their parents are still at work. Today we're making a hot Cheeto crusted chicken together. We're gonna begin by thinly slicing some chicken breast. That way it cooks faster and the hot Cheeto crust does not burn. Now we're just gonna marinate the chicken using some buttermilk, buffalo sauce, and some seasoning because we don't want our chicken to be bland. Then you mix everything together, let this marinate for 2 hours or overnight. For the hot Cheeto crust, we're just gonna add some hot Cheetos in a food processor, blender, I don't freaking know, stomp on that bag until you pulverize the Cheetos. Firmly press your chicken onto the Cheeto crumbs until everything is nice and coated. And no, I'm not gonna use flour because every time I do, my coating falls. Pop them into the air fryer at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, checking them here and there, making sure they get nice and crispy and they don't burn. Now we're gonna serve the chicken with a side of fries, and then we're gonna drizzle lots of nacho cheese all over those fries, but there's so many things you can do with the chicken, guys. But this is it, and I hope you like this recipe. Bye! All right, guys, so remember how we just made the Cheeto crusted chicken and I told you there's many things you can do with that chicken? Well, here I am showing you another way to utilize your chicken. You can also cut the chicken into strips and then just making chicken tenders, but I cut them flat like this because I was gonna make sandwiches and then I realized I didn't have any lettuce. And I didn't want my sandwich to look up pobrecito, so we're gonna make a wrap. This is a jalapeno popper spread that I made using cream cheese, pickled jalapenos, and cheese. Add whatever veggies you have. While the chicken was in the air fryer, I did add a slice of Swiss cheese, but if you have cheddar cheese, even better. Then we drizzle some nacho cheese all over our chicken, split it in half, and then this is what it looks like. If you want to, you can also serve this with a side of fries drizzled with lots of nacho cheese. But there you have it. Hope you like this recipe. Bye! Let me show you guys a quick recipe idea, especially for those starving teenagers who are gonna be home starving like Marvin because your parents are still at work. Today we're making a green pasta using this sauce. Because there's nothing wrong with cheating, sometimes you need to improvise. The main ingredients on that sauce is tomatillos and jalapenos, so I was like, okay, we're gonna add some cream cheese, garlic, and that sauce, and we're gonna make a green sauce. So gonna add a little bit of chicken bouillon and some water to give it a little bit more flavor and to thin it out. In a pan, I was frying a little piece of onion with some butter, then I add my sauce in there, my cheese of choice. I'm gonna use Chihuahua cheese, and then I add my cooked pasta. Then I give everything a quick little mix until everything was fully incorporated, and the pasta is ready, guys. You made green pasta in less than 15 minutes. Just gonna crumble some queso cotija, a little garnish because garnish never stops, and then some crispy chicken cutlets. There you have it. Hope you like this recipe. Bye! All right, guys, so some of you guys know that my sister graduated a couple of days ago and my mom volunteered me to make her surprise dinner. She wanted me to make her some gorditas that she had seen on a video, but when I saw the video, I was like, lady, those are pupusas. I guess the difference is that we throw them on the oil, let them get nice and puffy and crispy on the outside, and then we open them up and stuff them with her favorite stuffing. Now, she wanted tinga. And we top them off with all of the toppings necessary, like lettuce, tomatoes, more cheese, some aguacate, salsita, sour cream. She wanted it all. So much that girl didn't even stop there. She was like, I want some mole and some pollo a la crema. Nah, I gotta give my mama credit for the mole and the pollo a la crema, or else she's gonna chew my ass after this video. There you have it, guys. Bye. Packing lunch for my husband and his coworkers. It's about that time where I make my husband and his coworkers lunch, but I was not keeping track and the man decided to surprise me last night to let me know, hey, the day is tomorrow. So you think you can make us some Cubans? And I was like, boy, I cannot make you some Cubans. That takes time. I'm just gonna make you guys something simple due to your last minute notice. You guys are taking tortas asada. Too bad, so sad. So I just marinated some meat overnight and then in the morning I pan-seared it. And I sliced up all my veggies, made a spread using garlic, mayo, and seasoning so I can rub all over my buns and make them nice and crispy. Spread some avocado all over my buns. Then I add some cheese, the carne asada. I closed it up. Spread some of that garlic mayo that I made so I can put it in my panini press so I can get nice and crispy. Open them up so I can stuff them with all of the toppings necessary like lettuce, tomatoes, some onions so their breath can be nice and stinky, some jalap, sour cream, and some avocado sauce. Then I wrapped it up in parchment paper, split it in half for them so they don't have to stuff their face with a big ass torta. I put little small containers with some salsita, a note to let him know how much I love him, pack everything up for them, and then due to his last minute notice for their drink, they're just gonna take sodas. But that is it, guys. I'm just gonna hurry my ass up, get everything ready for them, load everything up in my truck so I can drop it off during lunchtime. Bye! Let me show you guys a quick recipe idea, especially for the starving teenagers who are home from school starving like Marvin because their parents are still at work. Today we're making some breakfast crunch wraps. And before you say anything, Karen, yes, I know I put too much oil, but it's okay. We're gonna fry up some potatoes, and as soon as they're nice and crispy, we're gonna remove the oil, season the potatoes, and then add some chorizo. Once the chorizo cooks, which takes about 5 minutes, you're gonna add your eggs, and don't overcook the eggs, guys, because the house is gonna smell like wet dog and your mama gonna be mad. We're also gonna make the easiest chilaquiles ever. I just fried up tortillas and added some leftover sauce, warm up my tortilla, and then we begin to assemble the crunch wraps. I'm gonna add the quesadilla cheese on the bottom, then we're gonna add the potatoes with chorizo, and then our chilaquiles on top. I crumble up some queso cotija, drizzle some sour cream, some avocado sauce, and then I begin to fold it up like a crunch wrap. Now we're just gonna take it to the comal, add a little bit of oil, that way it gets nice and crispy on both sides, and we're gonna cook this on medium heat, that way it doesn't burn and the cheese melts like this. And there you have it, guys. Hope you like this recipe. Bye! I'm gonna show you guys a quick snack idea, perfect for those days that the elotero hasn't passed by your house, or for people who don't have an elotero man passing by their house, like me. We're gonna make Mexican street corn. We're gonna begin by removing the husk and hair from our corn. Then we're gonna bring some water to a boil, add some butter, salt, stick your corn in there, let that cook for about 45 minutes. Now, I'm just making plain simple Mexican street corn because, let's be honest, I'm being lazy. But by all means, if you wanna make an esquite, just get your little knife and start cutting the corn from the cob. But anyway, we're gonna butter up those corn buns with some mayo, top it off with some queso cotija, then we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of chili powder and then drizzle some butter. That's not any type of butter, guys. That is corn butter. I should have showed you guys the package, but I forgot. Now, these were for my husband, and that man has a simple palate, but you can get as creative as you want, like adding some hot Cheeto crumbs, some Taki crumbs, I don't know, whatever your little heart desires. We like this recipe. Bye! Let me show you guys a quick recipe idea, especially for those teenagers who are at home starving like Marvin because they're in summer vacation and their parents are still at work. Today we're gonna make some tacos. We're gonna begin by asking our parents to buy us the taco shells, of course. Then we pop them in the oven for about 5 minutes until they get nice and crispy. All right, now for the meat, we're gonna brown up some ground beef. We're gonna season it up and add one of those little taco seasonings. I like to add more water than the recipe says for because I like to stew the beef a bit because I don't like how hard and chewy ground beef is. Sorry. Now, while that is happening, we're gonna go ahead and start chopping up all the toppings we want for our tacos without chopping our fingers, of course. Then we assemble them however a little heart desires, but if you do want to make your life a little simpler, I suggest you just shred some lettuce, make a fresh pico, guacamole, and sour cream. I did about the same thing, except that I did them individually, cut them in different shapes. I just did the absolute most. Now, don't forget to pick up your mess and hope you like this recipe. Bye! Let's pack today's lunchbox for my friends and followers. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard of pupusa bombs, but I've been seeing them around on my Instagram, and I was like, I'm gonna make them some pizza pupusa bombs. So we're gonna begin by making the dough. Then I cut up some pepperoni and make my cheese into a dough, mix everything together. Then I form the pupusa disc, stuff it with the cheese and the pepperoni, roll them up, make sure they don't bust in your face because we're gonna drop them into the deep fryer. Fry them until they get nice and crispy on both sides or on all the sides. Some of them did bust in her face, but it's okay. I also rolled them in some butter and garlic situation going on. Then I sprinkle them with some Parmesan cheese and some parsley, and then I pair it with the spicy marinara sauce. And I'm not stopping there because if you know me, you know we need options. We're gonna make them some regular pupusas by mixing chicharron, beans, and cheese. We basically do the same thing as the bombs, except this time we're gonna flatten it out into a flat disc. And we place them on the hot comal, flip them until they get nice and crispy on both sides, and then the cheese starts to ooze. I'm just gonna place 3 of them in the box, a side of curtido and some sauce. Who else can eat curtido just like that? Because I can eat a bowl of curtido. And then this is what the inside looks like. Now that cheese pull went around the block like about 3 times. For their drink, they had an option between a soda or a cucumber honeydew agua fresca. That's it, guys. I'm gonna get everything ready for them so they can come pick up during lunchtime. Bye!